Our hearts beat to the city streets.
This shall too pass. I was repeating to myself in the small mirror hung to the bathroom wall while brushing my teeth. Once I was done brushing my teeth, I took a quick but warm shower and then went back to my small cupboard where I had some pairs of folded clothes. As I can afford the hangers to hang my dresses, and also I don't have a wardrobe, so I keep them in the cupboard, which is too small, but still it's enough for me as I have only few pairs of dresses. Picking out a red skinny jeans and a black tank top with a woolen grey sweater just to stop the cold from invading. I know it won't help me to prevent from catching the cold, but still I wear it cause it makes me feel happy that I also have a sweater like any other person in Seoul. Truly, it's a nice city where a lot of people come to get rich and famous, but in my opinion, it's quite opposite. I am 19 years old. I live in a small apartment complex in the middle of the town. Sometimes it feels so lonely living in the apartment because I have no dad, no mom to make me feel happy. I never met my birth parents. But Sia says that I am the most beautiful girl she has ever seen in her life, from inside out. Sia is my only friend here in the big city Seoul. She had to run away from that orphanage where the poor kids were like sadly they were not given toys to play with but vessels to wash, dough to knead, clothes to iron, broom for cleaning that old dusty rooms of an orphanage. When I ran away from that orphanage, I had not even a penny to buy myself a bread, but Sia gave me some money to survive. She also helped me to get a job in a little cafe downtown. Although the cafe is small, but there is something about it which catches customers' attention. It's old and classic, yet it's very cozy. Maybe its calmness and coziness attracts most of the customers. I have been working in Star Cafe since I escaped from an orphanage. Life has always been hard to me, but I never lost hope. I know if I lose the hope, I didn't want my destiny to be this much harmful to me. I wanted it to show some mercy on me. Pushing on white sneakers, I sighed and made my way out of my tiny apartment. My shift starts at 9 a.m., so I usually leave around 11 o'clock, or sometimes, if there is more customers, then I have to work until 12 a.m. The owner of the cafe is an old man who has no children whom he could handle his small cafe. That's why he hired me to take care of his cafe. He is 70 years old man, so most of the time he just stays home and lays on his bed, but sometimes he comes and says if he sees me using mobile phone, I am alone to serve the customers here, but still know my duty really well. I just use my mobile phone when there is no customer coming or the food has been served to the customers who are sitting in the cafe, but still the elderly man wants me to stand on the customer's head and ask them if they need something or not. Seriously, if any of them need something, they can call for me or place the order. Then what's the point to stick my eyes on them? I never been able to make an elderly man understand this. This small cafe is so cozy that I won't lie if I could be here all the time because it has everything that girl wants: plants, food, free Wi Fi, and a small sofa to lay down and peace to cherish. Like any other day, there came a lot of customers in a cafe, and as usual, I was alone to deal them. But just like any other day, I served to all the customers who returns to their homes happily. Now it was around 11 o'clock, and I was tired. Today, I didn't have time to use my mobile phone even. I couldn't text Sia, neither did we talk on a voice call. I was supposed to close the cafe until 10:30 o'clock today, but due to number of customers increasing like a jungle fire, I just couldn't close it early. Walking home at night is always a bit scary, especially after 12 o'clock, as the cafe city is full of different characters. And the most scary part is I don't think anyone could even realize if I was missing. Washing the dishes and cups as well, wiping down all the tables to ensure everything was all set and ready for tomorrow, I flipped the open sign to close. and I was ready to leave for my house, but then suddenly the cafe door creaked open and a handsome man, tall, broad shoulders, sharp jawline, and the bone chilling guy shining like a crystal. The man had one hand fully tattooed. He was so mesmerizing that for a moment I felt myself lost into him, or as met with each other, and for felt like an eternity on the earth. We were staring at each other like if we stopped doing so, the world will end. I am sorry, sir, but the cafe is closed. I guess you didn't read the close sign board. I managed to say. My voice was stuttering. He looked up at me but said nothing as he walked around the cafe and sat on the empty table. When I said that the cafe is closed, did he hear it wrong, or is he a deaf person, or maybe he is ignoring my words? Sir, the cafe opening timing is over. It is closed now. I slowly walked to his table. My heart was pounding hard. He looked more handsome from the close. What a beauty to stare at. Although this man is above any words used to describe a beauty, so perfectly crafted, but it seemed like he had some secrets in his heart. He looked up at my figure and sighed, not in annoyance, but I couldn't figure out why he sighed looking at me. He looked at me from head to toe, and a light smile crept on his lips, which could end the war. Then what hope I could ever had in my mini heart. What's your name, beautiful? He finally spoke. His voice was softened, but it didn't seem he was used to speak in this tone. Leave I said, gulping down. I was so lost into him that I didn't feel any hesitation to tell a stranger my full name. He smiled and almost stood. Why you are not leaving? I managed to say without stuttering, his mouth bringing his index finger. Beautiful, he murmured in a surprise. As if I was not a human, just like him, he was staring at me as if I came from another planet. Or maybe he saw her for the first time. That's what I could get through his stares before I could ask him to leave. He smiled at me. I looked up at him only to find him already staring at me with his dark, intense eyes, and the next moment he left out. He was just a stranger. Why did he come in the cafe if he didn't have to eat something? Why he didn't leave when I told him that the cafe was closed? Why I was mesmerized by him? So many questions were swirling in my mind. I sat and closed the cafe. I looked at the busy roads of the Seoul. Even at 1 a.m., I watched the cars and taxis roll by heading into their own chapters of life, and I began to wonder what my next chapter would be. Reaching my apartment, I let out a sigh in a relief because finally I had time to relax. I took out my sweater and sneakers so I could just fall myself on the warm and cozy bed, but as they say, some people are born, and unfortunately, I am one of them. My mobile phone rang with them glancing at the caller ID. I picked up the call and put the phone near my phone ear. You, when are you going to give my money back? It's been more than 9 months. I won't take any of your stupid excuses anymore. He said that I felt my eardrums started to shake. I'm sorry, Mr. Shin. I'm just trying to return your money very soon. Please have little more patience. I replied in a sad voice. What? You want me to wait a little more? It's been 9 months that I have been hearing the same excuse. Now it's getting out of my control, Levian. You are giving me my money back, he said. Hearing his words, as a stream of tears dropped on my cheeks beneath my body, what could even I expect? from this man. He could say nonsense, but as far as I know, he has a good reputation. I didn't want to be burden on Sia, so I hid this from her. I wanted to ask him to give me some time so I could arrange an amount, but no. He cut the call and now his number is unreachable. Bravo, I'm not going to sleep like any other day. The next morning, Arthur spoke. You got up with swollen eyes and tired body as you kept thinking about Mr. Shin. You didn't know how to return his money while you were deep in your thoughts. You heard a loud thud on the main entrance door. You quickly wore the shoes and rushed downstairs. As you opened the door, it revealed Mr. Shin along with his men who were glaring at you. Your breath hitched in your throat and you quickly tried to lock the door. Don't act smart, little girl. You are gonna pay me the heavy amount, he said, kneeling down. Tears were escaping your eyes. You were trying to utter some words, but they were just stuck in your mouth. Get her in car, he said to his men. But in the meantime, someone yelled from the door frame. You looked up to see Sia glaring at his men. Oh, someone feeling pity on this poor girl, he said, walking to her. Please, Sia, go back to your house, she said, getting up from the floor. Sia looked at you and blinked her eyes to ensure that she was okay. How much money she borrowed from you? She asked, looking at Jin. Are you gonna pay? He asked, his eyes full of an amusement. Yeah. No, no, Sia, please, you have already helped me a lot, she said between the sobbing. You, mister, tell me how much money she owe you. She said, unzipping her maroon purse. 500 won, he said, looking around. Sia nodded her head and taking out the money from her bag, she gave him. No, pick it up from the floor, she said, snapping her finger to all of them. She said, making all of them run away from there. Once they left, you ran to Sia. Hey, don't be so emotional. You can return this money once you get some. Well, I found a very good job for you. The pay is huge, and first let's go to the sofa and talk there peacefully. She said, and you both walked to the living room. Well, the best thing is you don't have to do any other job if you get this. Her eyes shined with a little hope of you agreeing with her. What job are you talking about? If it's serving to the men, then I'm sorry. You said, shrugging your shoulders. Oh, come on, it's not about that. It's a maid job in a huge mansion, she explained excitedly. Maid? Do maid really get paid this much to fulfill their needs? You asked, looking at her. I know you would ask the question. Now listen, they are paid well in that mansion, though the mansion had some secrets, but we have nothing to do with that. You will work under Mafia boss as his maid, like any other woman working to serve him. I know you need a job that could help you to fulfill your needs and luxurious at the same time. Trust me, this job is gonna be one of them, she said in a reassuring tone. You want me to work under Mafia? You ask, gulping down. Oh, you don't need to be scared, it's true. Hundreds of people serve him, and through my resources, I came to know that all of them are really happy. You know, she was worried for you, but her words were not wrong. Right now, you needed this job to make your life a little better. I will do this job. Since when? You asked. She looked at you and then screamed in a joy. I'm so happy for you. I hope this job will change your life in a good way where you can join the job at any time. She said, and you smiled, nodding your head. I'll join it from the tomorrow morning, you said and made a pout. I bet you won't regret after joining it, she said, and they left for her house. The next morning, the taxi stopped in front of the huge mansion while the trees all around the surrounding as if they were grown to protect the mansion. You stepped out while your eyebrows came together when you saw the guards all around the place, all of them in their hands. They all looked focused and attentive. Do Mafia need this much protection? You thought in your mind while looking around. The two burly men in black suit came to you, their eyebrows frowned together as they whispered something to each other. It was not Korean language which was you can understand. It was an Italian as far as you know. One of them suddenly landed his hand eyes on you, catching you staring at him. You gave him a nervous smile, but they just ignored it and gave you permission to enter in. As you reached inside the house, you got ass attract as it was more beautiful than the outside. You sneaked through an open kitchen where maids and chefs were working fastly, and the food was scattered all around in the beautiful plates as if it was a king's feast. Hello to everyone, you said in a low voice as you bore down at them. They all looked at the surprise for a moment and then everyone smiled at you as you told them that you were new addition here as a maid. A maid named Jasmine came to you who signed you some chores. You happily accepted and started to help them making breakfast for a boss. 3 days later, it's been 3 days since you started to work in the mansion. Everyone in the mansion behaves nicely to you and they didn't make you feel like a newcomer. They all are friendly and you are quite satisfied with your life. You are enjoying working here as you got a new friend, Jasmine, who treats you like her own little sister. But you felt really sad when she told you about her life journey, her struggles, and that made you feel realize that you were not only the person in this world who were suffering. Some of them tell their struggles to others, but some of them don't have others with whom they could share their life problems. You took a deep sigh and walked inside the small room which is given to you for a sleep. Though the room is small but is still warm and cozy, grabbing your suitcase from the staff, you placed it on the bed as you needed to change. Well, the suitcase was sent to you last night by Sia as she knew you needed some clothes. Then you recalled the day in a shopping mall when she forced you to buy one, but you refused, saying that you never wore stuff. She said, "One day I will buy you some cause I know you look beautiful in it." You rolled your eyes and you mentally pictured her smirking while buying this stuff. Why she want me to wear this? You muttered to yourself. You didn't know what hit your mind all of a sudden and you picked up a white and slipped into it, then walked to the mirror, your eyes widened and never thought you would look this much pretty in it. Suddenly you felt thirsty and you walked out of your room until you reached the kitchen. It was 1 a.m. and you knew no one would come in the kitchen at this time. You opened the fridge and was about to take out the water bottle, but suddenly a shiver ran down your spine. You turned around, but it was too dark that you couldn't see the figure clearly as a small bulb hanging on the ceiling was falling on you while the figure was shadowy only. You took an abrupt run, but before you could take a step forward, you were pushed. It felt familiar, but your senses were not working. "So you are new here?" he asked in a low voice. "Let me go," you said confidently. "Oh no, please don't do," he said, but his deep chuckle at the end assured that he was just acting. He was mesmerizing as the earlier guy, but you didn't know who he was. With a rising heartbeat, you ran to your bedroom before someone could catch you. The next morning, you were in the kitchen cutting the vegetables. You were about to tell Jasmine about that man when he came to you running. Mafia boss has requested Ryan's presence. He somehow spoke. Your eyes got widened when you looked at Jasmine to see her eyes widen as yours. You nodded, taking a deep breath that you had seen fear in everyone's eyes by only hearing the word Mafia boss. As anyone else, you were also scared, but you had no other option than following the head chef silently. He stopped as you reached one of the mansion's room. Boss is in. You can go inside, but don't forget to ask him for a permission before walking in, he said, and then left as you nodded. You knocked at the door before you could verse some words. A deep yet a familiar voice called you from inside. You slowly walked inside where you saw a man standing in front of the room window as he was looking through it. Beautiful as dream, he murmured without turning around. Who? You asked confused. He chuckled and finally turned his head towards you, making your eyes widen in a shock. He was the same man whom you met in the cafe. That man was a mafia boss. The thoughts were running in your mind as you were looking at him with your eyes popping out. Ah, princess, to put a lot of pressure on your mini mind while I am Jeon. They call me Mafia Boss. Don't worry, I'll buy a lot of ones. Hey, don't get surprised. It was me who saw you last night, he said in his deep voice. You were looking at him with wide eyes as you were shocked. That's why your destiny was taking you to him over and over, why your paths were crossing every time. I know I am good, he said, taking a strand of your hair behind your ear. You looked at him shocked. Look that. Time skip. It's been a whole month since you came in the mansion. You both were aged. Some dark things are going on inside the dimly lit room, but no one knows except this. Jungkook was in the dining room discussing to his men about his own mission when you walked to the dining table along with the food tray, which was prepared by Jasmine and you. You walked to the table without looking up as you didn't want any of his men to look at you. You put the food tray on the table. Feeling shy, you quickly served him the food when one of his men came along with some important papers in his hand. He was working so briskly that he didn't look at you, and as a result, you both bumped and papers fell on the floor. He had it down, sincerely apologizing to you. It's okay, you said, and bent down to pick up the papers from the floor. Coughing dramatically, he got up from his chair. Boss, where are you going? Weren't we supposed to discuss an important mission now? He asked. But I have a more important mission to do right now, he said, making the butterflies have party inside his stomach. Jungkook, you mumbled.